3, 0, 1. As the opposition team, we object to the idea of implementing student loans in Indonesia. While the proposition team believes that this policy will bring prosperity to the country, there is no guarantee that students who receive student loans will have the ability to pay off the debt after getting a job. Indonesia's minimum wage are only under 5 million rupiah, when the life expenses of each person may reach 50% or even less and more. What if it's a family living expenses? Like the proposition team had said, money is very essential to every human's life. There are cases about students who are not able to pay off the debt that continues to grow from the interest percentage every year. If repayment depends on future income, then the entire system depends on the assumption that graduates will reliably obtain stable jobs with sufficient salaries. In reality, many Indonesian graduates are underemployed, unemployed, or work in sectors unrelated to their degrees. Proposition says debt is acceptable because repayment starts after employment, but this ignores several realities. Students from Indonesia have the average IQ of 90. It does not guarantee that students will graduate with an excellent grade and be able to get a job with minimum wage, because there aren't even many jobs that have a minimum wage salary, and many is under. But if they don't have a job with a salary that qualified the minimum amount to start paying off the debts, even if they have a minimum wage salary, because the living expenses of a person is about 50%, maybe less or maybe more, it is still hard to pay off the debt with interest about 5 to 7% every year. Taxes in Indonesia are already so high, so that cuts off more of the salary, and the students' expenses will increase even higher than before. Not all students could get a job with a high wage. Also, it is better for students to search for a career or study opportunities abroad. Most countries appreciate more about performance rather than degree, not forgetting that some people who graduated with high degree are still underemployed or even unemployed. Not considering the problem if, for example, students cannot pay back due to the lack of available jobs in Indonesia. So I will give 3 arguments on why we oppose this. The first argument is about mental health. Student loans create structural financial pressure. First, psychological pressure still exists. Students graduate already carrying financial obligations. Even income contingent repayment can shape life decisions, like delaying marriages, avoiding entrepreneurship, refusing lower-paying social jobs, or even prioritizing salary over passion and public service. Second, debt disproportionately harms middle and lower-income students because wealthy students can still pay tuition upfront without accumulating debt. In other words, loans do not eliminate inequality. Third, many students may choose degrees based on repayment potential instead of national needs or personal talent. Society could also lose future teachers, researchers, artists, and even social workers because students are pressured towards safe careers. The second argument is that it may cause losses to the society or even the government. If the student that uses the student loan ended up cannot paying off the debt, the government could be at risk of loss. Students who are cornered can run away into another country to avoid the debt. Not to mention, if the student doesn't have the qualification to graduate, they would have to repeat year. If the student who doesn't have the will to study seriously manages to get a student loan, it will be such a big loss to the government, and the society can't grow because of those students who doesn't want to increase their knowledge. The third argument is that government capability is not guaranteed. Proposition team claims loans are sustainable because students can repay them later, but this assumes efficient administration and low default rates. Indonesia still struggles with corruption, inaccurate data systems, weak tax collection, and bureaucratic inefficiency. If graduates cannot repay consistently, the state may face massive financial losses. Worse, debt collection mechanisms could become exploitative or coercive. There is also more hazard. Universities may continue to increasing tuition because students can simply borrow more money. This is exactly one of the major criticisms of student loan system globally. That's all from me. Thank you.